Share with the group what makes one a good Wii Sports Resort player, and why is Nate a terrible one? What's going on, everybody? For the New River Battalion, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Harrison, and you're watching Torched Ones, the show where we have answers to your burning questions and even hotter wings. Today, we're joined by three sophomores from Army ROTC, Los Tres Amigos, who have taken up the gauntlet to climb the top of the Capsaicin Mountain. First, Joel Yi. He's returning after appearing on the second episode with the cadet last February. Joel is from Tacoma, Washington, and is in November Company in the Corps, where he's a fire team leader and Echo Company, Chase the Wolves, in Army ROTC. He's a team leader in Echo. He's majoring in psychology and is a self-declared webhead or Spider-Man superfan. Ryland Holland is from Fredericksburg, Virginia. He's in Bravo Company in the Corps, where he's a fire team leader. He's a team leader in Army ROTC and Charlie Company. Go Crocs!
Go Crocs.
He's majoring in building construction and happens to be fraternity brothers with Joel in Bucks, or Beta Upsilon Chi. Nate Scott claims Centerville, Virginia as his hometown, as well as West Point and Watertown, and I'm curious to hear that story. I think it involves the Army. He's a fire team leader in November Company, as well as the athletics NCO for the company. He plays on the VT basketball team with the Corps Cadets, and is a team leader in Echo Company with Joel. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. What's your experience with spicy food?
I mean, being a veteran of the show, I'm very excited. I'd say I'm pretty fairly good at spicy food, but we'll see, especially with these new sauces. I'm ready for the challenge.
We are going to climb a higher mountain than you and I ever have, at least before, together, Joel.
What's this, sir?
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited, sir. Me personally, I don't have a whole lot of experience with the sauce. I think the most I've gone to is blazing sauce at Buffalo Wild Wings. Cadet Louie has a video somewhere of me eating one blazing wing and not having a good time after that. So I'm ready though, and we'll see how it goes.
We're going to expand your horizons.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Nate?
I'm ready to tackle the challenge. The most spice I've dealt with was a fantasy football punishment at a Buffalo Wing Factory. It's a Nova Special Flatliner challenge. Didn't end well. I only ate like 3 rings, so let's see if I hopefully can do more this time. So.
As much as I enjoy spicy food and wings and chicken in general, I don't like doing the spicy wing challenges because normally it's like volume, and I don't want to eat 10 chicken wings. It's not very healthy most of the time. Plus, 10 blow your face off wings. It's not fun for anyone. Not like that. All right, so we got a really good lineup today. I think this is one of the most balanced sets of flavors we ever put together. But we're gonna start, maybe a little higher than we have in the past, but keep the flavor going really well. But end on the highest peak ever with the Last Dab Xperience, which is pure Pepper X, and is pretty far up there. So it's going to be good. Let's get it done. First up is Melinda's Black Truffle on the right. Yep, that's least dangerous over there, most dangerous on the other side. Enjoy. Really good flavor. Love that sauce. Joel, you're back on Torched Ones. Thinking back to what you learned last time, what's the best advice you have for your compatriots today on how to succeed and thrive in this environment?
I'd say just think about something else. That's what I usually do. Just get distracted by it, whether it be talking to you, sir, or just think about what else is planned for my day. Because a lot of times it's the spice just hits you. But if you wait it out, it usually starts numbing down. It's definitely harder once you start reaching up the higher school levels, but I say just be patient with everything. Distraction.
Yeah. Works with toddlers too.
Yeah.
Distraction prevents meltdowns. Ryland, was Nate a good rat year roommate? And is he a messy person?
I wouldn't necessarily say messy, maybe a little bit unorganized sometimes, but he was definitely a good roommate to have freshman year. I got a lot of memories with this dude. For example, one time our other roommate, his name's Kevin.
Don't mention any names. Protect the innocent.
We'll just call him Mr. K. He was a funny dude, and one night on Halloween he decided to we went to this Mexican restaurant, and I guess he got food poisoning from his order, and there might have been throw up all over the room that Cadet Louie had to help us clean up.
Which restaurant was it? So I know not to go. I'll bleep.
I'd say, sir, what are you looking forward to this semester?
Spring semester is always cool because we are going to, at the end of it, obviously commission the majority of our seniors. I'm excited to see the growth within our internal training plan. We've changed a lot of things over the last 18, 19 months, and seeing the new levels of expertise that you guys are going to get to. I'm also excited to see how some of the new systems and processes that your cadet leadership have built are going to drive the battalion. I think we got a really bright future.
Yeah, you, sir.
I was kind of wondering, you said that there was some things you changed in the last 18 to 19 months. Could you mention some of those, I guess more specific detail, I guess what specific things you changed to try to make training better for newer battalion people?
Well, so most of the cadre were new when we came in, and every fall we've got about 7 new personnel. So coming out of the brigade combat team world, the operational side of the Army, there are a lot of systems that Cadet Command has that are different. So just understanding that was part of our fight. We work very hard to make sure that we're not putting cadets in a bind to have to choose between academics, things you want to do as a student or as a cadet with the Corps of Cadets, and with the Army ROTC needs you to do. So it's learning some of that terrain and building relationships. But one easy example, we moved the battalion runs to Wednesdays at the end of the semester because Radford ends classes on Friday so that they don't have to do the battalion run the last day of class. We'll take a little pressure off of their last day. Small things like that. I think it's making your lives better and creating a better learning environment so that you're not being distracted.
So I know you went to West Point. Do you have any funny roommate stories from your time as a kid?
Funny roommate stories? Yeah. So my freshman year, plebe year we call it there, my brother was a senior. He was a firstie. So he only messed with me once, but he got me really good. And Mike retires this April, so this is going literally 20 years ago. But early in the semester came in, and my platoon leader and his roommate came in and started tearing our room up. We're like, what happened? We're, get out on the wall. So we get on the wall and we're standing at attention, bracing, we're in so much trouble. It's just me in the hallway, excuse me. My roommate's still inside. And then this dark figure comes out of the side and tackles me, and it's my brother. He's messing with me, right? The other guys crack up and walk back through. When we walk into our room, and my roommate is standing there, all he sees is a cadet officer. He's like, ah! And Mike's like, look at my name tape, man. He sees Harrison and goes, oh, thank God. It was pretty entertaining. He also dropped his cell phone out of a window. Don't trying to get sick. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. You ready to go on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now this is queso sin queso, which is a vegan hot sauce.
Wow.
It tastes like queso, but it's not actually, it doesn't have any dairy in it. Enjoy.
We should do a little cheers. Triple cheers.
One bite.
I normally go for all at once because there's no point in drawing it out. All right, Nate, you got to tell me, how is one simultaneously a Tom Petty and a Hall & Oates fan, but also you enjoy Little Uzi Vert and Playboy Cardi?
So for that, I'll attribute that to the Spotify related songs feature. So obviously I like Playboy Cardi and Lil Uzi Vert from just kind of my friends, and then my dad actually introduced me to a couple 80s rock songs, and then Spotify just gave me suggestions and I just went through those. So yeah, I just kind of expanded from there.
It's very eclectic music taste. I feel like I'm pretty broad. There's things I definitely love, but that's more broad than I am.
Thanks, sir.
All right, Joel, all three of you actually listed armor as a branch you're interested in. I have strong opinions about this. I was offended by those who didn't put infantry, but it's okay. What do you think the appeal is for armor branch between this group of friends?
I know this is really small, but I think the sets are kind of cool. I think that's one of the things I'm that's actually really cool. And seeing officers in that, it's to me it's it's a sense of honor. I think wearing a Stetson, and I think I'm just really intrigued just by the mechanics of the tank also.
Okay. Yeah, tanks are amazing pieces of technology and amazing weapon systems, definitely.
I know for me at least, I want to branch kind of somewhere in combat arms. I'd say probably infantry engineering before that. But
Infantry and then everything else.
yes, sir. And I'd say armor still just kind of like the appeal is more just the tanks. I think just tank maneuvering is just cool. Actually on the Conrad Cavalry in the Corps, and I just think it's kind of a interesting organization. It doesn't really tell you a lot about tanks, but kind of like old historical cavalry battles, kind of like similar concept. So
Yep.
I think that's interesting.
Well, you guys probably remember this, but 27 February, branch orientation day. Armor branch is going to be there. You'll see some dudes with Stetsons. It's going to be a good event.
I think there's like a lot of diversity within the branch. Like you can go like cav, and you can also, but then you can also do like heavy stuff with like, obviously tanks. And there's a lot of tradition and history as well, so I think that's kind of like what draws us into it.
Armor branch certainly has some of the most unique historic traditions that go back to the American frontier and the cavalrymen and stuff like that. So definitely, my dad was a cavalryman. I was too, actually. That was my first assignment, was to a cav squadron in the 82nd. There's a friendly, mostly, rivalry between infantry and armor, especially cav scouts and light infantrymen, but they have most of the same skill set. And that was something I learned as a young lieutenant. Was like, hey, my scouts, who I had both infantrymen and scouts in my platoon, they knew a lot of stuff, and it was very applicable. All right. Are you ready?
Sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. This is the Buc-ee's Carolina Reaper. We can thank Colonel Cogbill, the PMS, for this sauce. He brought it back. You guys ever been to a Buc-ee's?
Hi, I'm Josh.
I'm Ollie.
I think we're in the largest gas station in the world.
Yeah.
It's quite a spectacle. It's
Wow.
like the world's largest gas station, and it has a bunch of other stuff. So when you see this little guy, it's from Buc-ee's. My kids love it. This is where things get real. Let's do it. All right, gents. We are once again going to be tempting fate in Spice Lords of Trivia. I'm going to pose a question to be answered, and you must, as a group, agree to the final answer. Victory will provide you with a sweet treat per question, or, in defeat, a painful surprise. You spin the wheel of death and see what happens. Best of luck. Now, the questions today were informed by your declared friendship and some of the things you were able to share with me. So let's figure out how well you know each other. Joel and Ryland. What is Nate's favorite ice cream? I think most of these are fair questions. What you say?
I'm gonna have to go with vanilla, sir.
Unanimous? You gotta have a unanimous answer.
Mint chocolate chip.
So,
Oh, let's do mint challenge. I changed my answer.
no coaching from the sidelines, Nate.
Sorry, sir.
All right, you got it right. You'll get a Snickers in a minute. Jeez. All
That
right.
was crazy.
Ryland and Nate. Does Joel like pineapple on his pizza? Controversial either way.
He does like it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Me too. All right, last one. Joel and Nate. What everyday item does Ryland like to collect?
Oh, shoes.
All right, you clearly have met each other before. Congratulations. You escaped the wheel of death. I think you're the first team to ever make it through with getting every single question. Well done.
So usually a lot of it's like
Give me some vanilla nuts.
I don't know why.
Vanilla's
Mine
crazy.
is vanilla mint, so-
Look like a vanilla type of guy.
Mint chocolate chip is also my favorite, so we got a lot in common.
Okay. So you said your first station was a cavalryman. What did you enjoy more, being like an infantryman or like cavalryman?
Well, technically, I was dismounted reconnaissance, which was an infantry skill set at that time. Even I was in, it was kind of an odd time. No, I preferred the infantry warfighter mission over the cav reconnaissance mission, but they both are important. They're both essential. What has changed over the course of my career is now the scouts in a light infantry battalion are 19 deltas. You still have what's called a Charlie troop in a light cavalry squadron, which is dismounted reconnaissance. Those are infantry, but the rest are 19 deltas.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question.
Sir, I was kind of wondering why you specifically chose like infantry out of all service paths you can go down. I think I watched a couple episodes before this and kind of heard your story about why you went to West Point during the Army, but why out of all branches you could choose infantry in particular?
I would attribute it to two primary things. The first is I met a lot of infantry officers and NCOs that I wanted to be like. I'm like, they're cool. I appreciate them. They are leaders that I want to emulate. Part of what made them that leader is their specialty within the Army. So that was part of it. The other half is I've been interested in it since I was a kid. Military family. My dad had coached me on, considering the infantry as a young man, and what I found was like I seemed well aligned to that. What I found in the maneuver world, this isn't strictly true of the infantry, but certainly of infantry leaders. If you want to be someone who gets given hard problems to solve and you like that challenge, that's the place it happens. They often expect you to do it. That doesn't mean they're more important than anyone else or other people don't do that. But I found those things converge a lot, and I really enjoy that. I like solving hard problems sometimes. It's rewarding. Yeah. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Joel, you've been here before. I don't think your friends have. Let's do this. This is very unique sauce. It was on the last lineup for Hot Ones, but it's the hop sauce to the dark cherry Carolina Reaper from Alchemy Peppers.
It smells spicy.
It's good. It's good for the soul.
Yeah.
There's a pause. It's nice and sweet, and then it's gonna build, and it'll be all right. Just distract yourself, like Joel said. All right, Ryland, why is cookies and cream your go-to ice cream flavor?
I don't know what it was. I think when I was younger, chocolate was probably my favorite flavor. Just that's kind of my go-to. But after a while, I don't know what it was. Just cookies and cream just kind of like just garnered more of my favorite. And I just think the blend of milk and the Oreo cookies, like it's just a combo you can't really pass up on, sir.
Yeah, no, it's up there on my list. Don't get me wrong. My kids love it too. Never a bad choice. Nate, tell us why Ferris Bueller's Day Off is your favorite film.
Honestly, it's kind of like the vibe of the movie. Like if you watch that in like summertime, like May, June time, it's just like, I don't know, it's unbeatable because it gives off like some good vibes. Also the scene where they're like in the car and it's like the Star Wars theme song and they're like flying over the hill. That's like my favorite scene. So yeah.
See, I think I don't know if it's my favorite, but my most memorable scene is, of course, when they're trying to run the odometer back, and it goes in reverse. It's out of the garage and crashes down the hill. Like, oh man, it's not a great position to be in.
That was some creative writing for sure. I don't know how they thought of that. But.
Absolutely. All right. Before we decide to really test ourselves, anything you want to talk about?
Sir, what's any advice you'd give to the MSCs entering into the semester and just beyond?
You got to understand the transition you're in, right? You've gone from building the first foundation within both the understanding of our profession as well as a military lifestyle to being leaders, to being in charge of people, as you guys are experiencing right now. And what I think you will find is Captain Dufault and Sergeant Veas are building on the foundation of last year and taking you further. So without that first step, right, it'd be much harder to do this. But you gotta progress. And if you're not uncomfortable, you're not trying. You gotta get out there, get uncomfortable, be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Sir,
It's good for you. Okay.
thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Here we are, facing down the world's hottest hot sauce. It's lifelong bragging rights when this is over. You guys ready?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
let's get it.
All right, now it is tradition around here
A little
to
extra.
put a little something extra. It is the last dab after all. You don't have to. People will probably judge you. I won't, but you're welcome to join me in a last dab.
Sir.
You gotta do it.
It's a healthy last dab, Joel. Respect.
I'll regret this later, so.
Be careful with that weapon system now.
Oh my
Here we go. Let's keep everyone safer with that guy closed. And now, gentlemen, I salute you. Good luck. Cheers.
Sir.
Cheers.
Godspeed.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's there. Just gotta make peace with it. Okay, Joel. As the Last Dab Xperience probably modifies our DNA and turns us into literal volcanoes. Reflect back on the last year and a half. What has changed in your life as you transition from freshman to sophomore, MS1 to MS2?
I think the biggest change, especially for me, definitely would just be just getting used to a college lifestyle with ROTC and the core. I think it's kind of difficult, especially as a freshman, when you're dealing with, the core stuff, and then also just all the Army stuff like getting thrown at you, and learning about op-boards, learning about TLPs, learning about platoon tactics. Well, first starting with squad level, but I think going on from now, especially with Captain Fall and Storm First Class at Mayhaus, it's definitely like we build off, like you said before, we build off from what we learned from last year and moving on to the nitty-gritty details about everything.
And you get to have longer hair, which is,
Yes,
a
sir.
bonus.
But it's also just getting, involved with the university. I think that was kind of tough. Definitely very tough, especially when you're a freshman and you're not able to do a lot of other things and you're focused on the core and on RCC.
Get a richer experience.
So,
Good. All right. Ryland and Nate. I would say you're certainly living up to your mentor's example that Ryan Louie has set for you, so you're doing a good job. Tell me about the mic ports.
Oh, the mic ports. That was a spirit item that we made last semester. We had a challenge as a company, as a RAC class, actually, to do a variety of things, and one of them was to create our own spirit item. And there's a viral video on YouTube about a certain man who really wants the Newports out of this bag. He goes in the gas station and has the Newports. So Cadet Louie here was a big fan of that video, and he suggested that we make a spirit item revolving around that. So we decided to make those 3 separate boxes of Newport cigarettes.
Oh, I saw that, I think, at your org day or something. I saw that once.
Yeah, it's 3 different ones, and one of them is dedicated to M26. The other one, it's kind of like a typical Newport box, and the other one is called the Mike Ports, and it's my company's spirit item dedicated by M26.
Okay. Nate, what role did you play in that? Were you part of these shenanigans?
I was supposed to help him out with the painting, but because we painted little boxes, I didn't really help him that much. I was kind of a poor roommate in that aspect, but he got the job done.
Okay. All right. So, before we let you off the hook, what's the worst trait that your roommates have that you would change if you could?
Roommates from last year or this current year?
When you roomed with one of these guys?
Worst trait, I would say he needs the most perfect sleep environment possible. The little blue light on the microwave, he had to tape that over because he couldn't go to sleep with it. So
I get it.
That was pretty annoying. I had to stay up late for work and whatnot. It was never could. This guy, so I'd say that was it. So.
All right, Ryland, you're going to close this out. Share with the group what makes one a good Wii Sports Resort player, and why is Nate a terrible one?
A lot of it is, so I'm taking a class right now called Why Building Stand Up. You learn a lot about torque. So a lot of it is within the torque of the remote. And playing with Cadet Scott here, he doesn't have the torque motion down, especially in wakeboarding on Wii Sports Resort and dogfighting, man. He's just got to get some torque up on the remote. That and just kind of just overall skill. There's definitely a big skill gap and a lot of practice comes. I know me and my siblings growing up had a Wii, and that was pretty nice. He also had a Wii, but not I guess he didn't go on as much.
Any rebuttals?
He obviously spent his time grinding on the Wii. I was outside playing with friends.
Wow.
Like a normal kid.
Wow.
Which me, man, I was playing sports.
That's all I got, sir.
Hey, for a couple of guys who are concerned about drinking the water and the milk, you guys did really well. I've seen no liquid consumed. Congratulations. You survived the climb up Mount Capsaicin. This camera. Tell the people what you got going on in your life.
I mean, just with MSU, you're just definitely excited with all the training that we'll get for this semester. Definitely getting more involved into my degree as a psychology major. Being more involved with my company, the core. Also being involved with me and Ryland's fraternity called Bucks or Beta Upsilon Chi. Just being involved with that. It's definitely a great experience. Especially me looking forward to whether I get case opportunities or not. So I'm excited for this year, sir.
All right.
Yeah, I know for me, kind of the same thing, especially in Joel and I fraternity. I'm just trying to stay involved in that and just focus on developing my faith in that. It's a good opportunity. I know Cadet Kinsler's involved too. And yeah, it's just a good group of dudes to spend time with. Taking 19 credit hours in building construction right now, so kind of a grind there. But that along with just being consistent, running and lifting, make sure I'm just kind of capable and prepared for anything the world throws at me. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to any training I get as an M2, any summer training, just anything at all. I'm just ready for it, excited for it.
Hey, you hit the performance triad. Nutrition, spiritual fitness, rest, and physical fitness.
Yes, sir.
Right on.
Similar to these guys, just getting 1% better every day. Kind of giving the enough effort to my core company, my fraternity, German club. Academics, obviously, and still stay on top of my PT goals. Just kind of making sure I'm holding myself accountable to achieving all those goals and trying to be the best leader, best person I can be.
All right, congrats to the sophomores of Virginia Tech Corps Cadets and Army RC. You guys did great. Hope you guys enjoyed it. River Forge.
River Forge.
Gotta go harder.
Awesome.